Do you guys see this? Can you guys see this? It's my baby! As you can probably tell by the thumbnail and the title, yes, that is correct. Jess and I are, she is pregnant, and I got a proof! Here you go. So now I can make the silly joke of the anime and be all like, but seriously, is it weird that I've kept this for like 3 months already? I wanted to make the video about it, so it's just been sitting on my desk for the last few weeks. There's a lot of updates that I need to catch you guys up on. Back in August, Jess got pregnant. We didn't really want to announce it back then because Jess has a kind of a problem, and that can cause miscarriage. She has PCOS, which is short for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and what that does is basically it creates a cyst on her ovaries, and it makes it really hard for her to get pregnant. We've been trying to get a baby ever since 2014, 2015. It's been 2 years. So she was really disheartened because it wasn't working, and we had to work with a fertility clinic because of that. And back in August, it finally worked. So we were ecstatic about it, but we weren't really allowed to talk about it much because of the PCOS. It can cause a lot of miscarriage. So we were recommended to wait the initial 3 months, I believe, which is the first trimester, and I think it's about 12 weeks for that. So that's what we did, and we finally passed the cap, and now I have a baby, and he's still alive so far, and I'm gonna touch some wood to keep it going like that. I'm super excited, but Dad did a lot of things on the sides as well that I have to walk you guys through as well. So the first thing that I have to let you guys know about is because of the new baby on the way, I am gonna need a different house because right now I'm living in what they call is a condominium, which is basically an apartment, and because of the work Jess and I do with YouTube, we need 2 studios, one for myself and one for her. And because of that, we currently have, I believe it's 5 rooms, but it's not enough. We have 1 bedroom, 2 studios, and then you get a living room and the place to do the laundry. So with the new babies on the way, we couldn't really put the baby in either of the studios because it would be too cramped or it would be impossible for us to work with. And Jess's studio doesn't have a window, so it felt really jerkish to put a baby in a room with no natural light coming in. So we needed to start looking for a brand new house, which we've been searching for in the last few weeks, and we finally found one that I'm pretty happy with. We got this one here, and I'm probably gonna scroll through a few pictures so you guys can see a little bit more of it. I am gonna do a proper tour when I actually move into it. We still have to do the inspection first to make sure there's no problem with the house itself, but from what we saw on first glance, it looks absolutely immaculate. So we're gonna hope it stays like that, and if it does, then this house is gonna be our new house. And that made it so I couldn't really work much in the last few weeks. Jess has been incredibly sick, so I had to take care of her a lot, and we had a lot of appointments to go through. And I also have the anime, which is another parts that come jumbling on with everything else. I'm not gonna lie, it did influence a lot of the anime production. We have the studio that's currently working on doing the visuals for everything else. They have their own pace. They're working over the clock like usual. They haven't slowed down or anything, and they really want to pump out the stuff as soon as possible. Where I did some kind of miscalculation was the fact that the first episode includes a lot, and I mean a lot of action. So if you know anything about animation, when you just walk in the street and just talking, that's fairly easy to do, but as soon as you involve animation, you gotta draw every single frame, and that slowed down the process by a ton, especially for fighting scenes. And since it's pretty much half the episode that's dedicated to that, we've been working over the clock for easily the last few months, and we said it was going to come out near October. It is still near October. We're hoping now to make it more at the end of November, which would be around Thanksgiving. That would be my final push off, as eventually it does have to come out. A lot of people has invested money in it, and it's looking so good. But because of the baby, it did prevent me from doing some side works, getting other people involved, and like wrapping the whole things into a kind of windmill that would work. And because of that, well, here you go. A little more delay. You guys are used to it. What's gonna come out first, the anime or the baby? At this point, who fucking knows? So yeah, that's pretty much like the big things that have been happening in my life. I want to keep you guys involved. Well, not really involved, but more so informed about the whole process. There's still a very high risk of Jess getting a miscarriage because of the PCOS. So, I mean, I could have kept quiet about it, but in another way, I mean, you guys deserve to know about it. You're also part of my family to a certain extent. And I mean, if it does have to happen, it's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna suck big times because we have been trying so hard to get one, and we finally got it. So we're just praying to keep it for the whole ride. And I want you guys to let you know. So with that being said, I also wanted to let you guys know about something that I'm gonna do in the upcoming weeks. It is gonna be somewhat of a schedule modifications. I've been looking through my stats, and I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't rely on the stats. It's not really relative to what the people enjoy or not." But to me, it kind of is. And lately, the top 10s that I've been doing have flunked majorly. A lot of people just don't seem to really care about them, and they're always about 2 or 3 days of work, and to get barely 100,000 views on them is not really worth the time investment. So instead, I would rather spend my time doing stuff that I enjoy more. Top 10s are fun every now and then, but being forced to do them every Friday is a little bit disheartening when you're just going through topics, especially now that I've pretty much covered everything. I talked about like redoing older topics, but then again, that's causing a problem because I have to cover like new anime to not talk about the same ones I had in the list. But at the same time, I can't really say that these new ones are better than the original ones because they're not. When I made the videos, because I did believe that those shows were better, and now just not including them is not really accurate. But then at the same time, just re-including them would just make the same video twice. So I'm not really happy with the way it's turning out to be. So I want to kind of slow down on top 10s. However, I do want to keep having somewhat of a big video every Friday. You guys have seemed to be falling in love with the Guess the Anime, which allow me to talk about like different titles at the same time, and it's about the same time investment into doing one than doing a top 10, and I feel like it has a better reception overall. I'm sure a lot of you guys came for the top 10s and you still love them, and if at some point I still want to have them going, but I just need a break and just spreading them out a little bit more, just because it's kind of sucky to have to force to do one every Friday, and it kind of starts to feel unnatural. Maybe you guys saw it with Jess and everything. I had to like let her go to some stuff on her own because I had to dedicate the time for the top 10, and it's just been shitty all over it. And that also made it so I looked pretty tired in the last few weeks, which was not inaccurate. We haven't slept much because I had to take care of the anime, I had to take care of the channel, I had to take care of Jess, and then we also had to look for the house. So once everything kind of settled down a little bit more, I'll be able to go back into doing my normal content. That's also the reason why lately there hasn't been much. Last weekend I had to go to Toronto. Like I said, I want to keep you guys informed at the same time about the baby and myself and everything else. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can go follow me at Chronexia. This is where I put like most of my personal life and also anime stuff that you guys can kind of jet into and see everything that's happening with me. The other point that I wanted to bring about the schedule change was the fact that I've noticed a lot of my friends, Joey the Anime Man or Akidiris, Noble from Lost Pause, and I've noticed that from their perspective, from what I see, they have a lot more people that care about the creator rather than myself, where people mostly care about the content I produce rather than the person behind it that makes it. I know, like I said, it's not everyone that thinks like that, and I wanted to make it more like myself rather than just another Watch Mojo list channel. I just don't want it to be something that people just come to get the information and get out. I want them to like me for who I am, and that's what I've always been trying to do. And hopefully with the anime coming out and the new style that I want to approach, hopefully that's gonna work out better. So back to the baby, because I segue really good. We don't know at the moment if it's a boy or a girl. When we do, we will announce it. In the meantime, we are having a poll on on Twitter to see which one you guys think is gonna win. So far, girls in the lead. We're hoping to get a girl, and if we do get a girl, Jess and I have already settled on the name Misty, so yes, it's going to be called Misty if it's a girl. If it's a boy, we have different name. We're also going to have somewhat of a poll. Right now, we're undecided on 8 different names, and we want to try and narrow it down to maybe 4 and then post a poll on Twitter to see who's leading. We're still going to have the last word on it, but see like what maybe people like the best and maybe go with that. So I apologize for dragging on for so long. I always do that. That's my big problem. I like the sound of my own voice talking, so I stretch more than I should. I'm gonna try to make a top 10 for this Friday. If it happens, more power to us. If it doesn't, please be understanding. The anime coming along greatly. A lot of cool stuff coming up. If you are not following the Patreon, just a single $1 lets you see all the updates we've been through. If you rather wait until the first episode is out to make your mind about it, that's fine too. Just know that the project hasn't been canned, it's still going strong, and it looks fucking amazing. But I can't show you guys much because they will kill me, and my baby needs a daddy, so I'll have to stick around for a little more. So thank you guys so much for your time. I hope I'll see you soon, and if not, well, stick around and I'll keep you guys updated. Peace out.